Everybody has heard about the power of the mind and heard incredible stories. Well, I was born missing part of my back, part of L4 and L5, had chronic back pain as a kid, as a teenager, and wasn't getting any relief from the typical approaches. And I was reading about mind-body healing, discovered that the expert in the whole world was in Phoenix. I was in Massachusetts. I wrote to him. He wrote back. He said, if you get a PhD or an MD, I'll train you. I moved to San Diego, studied with him in Phoenix for 4 years, and learned everything I could. I started off as a student and then became a patient because my mother got Lou Gehrig's disease while I was in graduate school training with him. And then I ended up being a co-therapist. We worked with patients together. Incredible training. In San Diego, I got a job as a consultant working at Kaiser Permanente, training physicians, therapists, individuals, families on mind-body healing techniques for weight, for pain, for medical problems, for emotional problems, psychological problems. And I was fortunate to collaborate and work with a person by the name of Vincent Folletti, who is actually the co-principal investigator of the ACE study. That stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. So now for 3 decades, we've been working together, teaching, developing treatment solutions, working with all ages of people, with medical conditions, weight situations, from heart disease to autoimmune diseases, to cancer, to pain, to every imaginable problem and every type of person you could even imagine. That basically Kaiser would send us people that weren't getting better, and Dr. Folletti's department in Kaiser, the Department of Preventive Medicine, saw 50,000 people a year. So I worked with tens of thousands of people, teaching them about the power of mind and facilitating in each individual their power to help themselves, because it's not as if someone else is helping them. All we can do is facilitate, like a maestro without an instrument. The person is the one playing the instrument. Their mind, their body, their spirit, their emotions. So the whole power of the mind, tapping into the most powerful pharmacy in the world in between your ears, its techniques, its strategies. There's 3 big ones that have helped tremendously, that tens of thousands of people have taught us. Number 1 is the unconditional acceptance of your condition, whatever it is. Now, if you can't be accepting of it and you're too judgmental or you're thinking too much, then you accept that you can't accept it. You accept that you're judgmental. And so ultimately you get to the acceptance, because that opens up the power of the mind more than anything else. Then you learn how to breathe your way through anything and have exact techniques that fit you. For example, you learn to focus on your breathing, and on your exhales, you repeat your own name to yourself over and over again, whether it's for a minute or for a few breaths. Every time you, and do this with me now, you exhale and say your name to yourself. Relaxation itself can have miraculous healing abilities. You can even inhale and say the word acceptance and exhale your name. Or inhale unconditional acceptance and exhale your name. Or inhale, I accept myself unconditionally, and exhale your name. This will help immediately. It will help every single time you do it. And the third technique is learning how to see yourself with different eyes. More than yoga or meditation or mindfulness, not just being an observer, but taking another step back. And this came in an epiphany when my observer was too busy thinking and even being critical and telling me I wasn't learning fast enough and everyone was learning faster. I developed the skill, and now it's in hundreds of countries, just like the ACE study is in 120 countries. I teach people how to observe the observer that's observing the movie. So yes, we all have a movie. That's our life, our story, of course. All of the best techniques teach you to step back and be an observer. Didn't really work for me. So I really had the aha, and I learned to observe the observer that's observing the movie. I got incredibly relaxed, tapped into the power of my mind, made a huge difference for my back pain, big difference for me dealing with stress and difficulties. So there are a few fundamentals. Of course, we have hundreds of techniques from the ACE study treatment solutions. I just want to share those three. There's wonderful stories about doctors themselves benefiting, about athletes benefiting, about people that really weren't making any progress for decades, benefiting really quickly because they tapped into the very important doctor that's always available 24/7, no need for an appointment, your inner doctor. That's right.